Y'all, I cannot tell you how grateful I am and thrilled um, to hit 200 subs this evening. Thank you so much. And in my appreciation, I wanted to just sort of give you an extra video just with me. Um, Blessing or curse, you decide. Hey, everybody, this is Adam with Inkstain Channel, and I want to welcome you to our 200 subscriber story time with Adam. And 100 subscribers just sort of flew by so quick that I didn't have a chance to mark the occasion and thank everybody, and just sort of bring some things up that hitting 100 subscribers had sort of brought to my attention. In addition, uh, now that's gone by the wayside, and we're about to hit 200 subscribers. So I want to talk about a couple of things that have sort of come to my attention. And I know that's rambling, but I'm like completely, off script here. So I want to talk about three things with you over the next few minutes, and I'll try and keep it brief. I know this is not a Nightwish video, so probably a large section of my subscribers are just going to go ahead and skip it, or if they want to know more about me or understand me outside of the sort of the Nightwish um, obsessed individual that I am, please stick around and listen to what I have to say. And some of it does relate to the Nightwish videos that I do, and some relates to the other stuff that I do and other stuff that will be happening on the channel that are not associated with Nightwish deconstruction videos. So first of all, I want to talk very quickly about what I am and what I'm not. Um, I do not purport to be anything other than what I am, but I will not accept being put into a pigeonhole of what I'm not. Um, I am a speech language therapist. I am a vocal coach. I am a writing coach. I am a performing literary artist. I am an interdisciplinary artist. I am a musician. I am a writer. I am a published poet and playwright. I'm a lot of things. But in the context of the videos that I've put out over the past several days, I want to talk about what I'm not and what I don't claim to be. I am not a singing teacher, never claimed to be a singing teacher. I am not the guy you go to if you want to learn how to sing. I'm the guy that you go to if you already know how to sing and it's not working for you. I'm the guy you go to if you're not engaging your audience. I'm the guy you go to if you are losing your breath or getting hoarse or not able to maintain the vocal stamina that you used to have. And it's kind of ironic because, many of us who teach are, even if we're really phenomenal teachers, and I would wager that the majority of my students would put me in that category, um, we often don't take care of ourselves the way that we should. And so that's one of the reasons why Floor's masterclass and just some brief sessions of things that she's been talking about so far are really great, because it sort of reminded me of some new tools to put in my belt that I hadn't had in there before. But the rest of it's all me. Um, I'm not talking about anything in which I am not qualified to talk about. I do not play the piano. I can play the piano if I wrote the music, but not if I didn't. I do play guitar and I do sing. However, I'm not the guy you go to for a singing lesson. I'm not the guy you go to for a voice lesson that has to do with doing material and working on expanding um, expanding your ability to sing from this note to that note. I'm a much broader practitioner in terms of voice. I put myself through undergrad at the age of 23, teaching professionals and singers how to perform 8 shows a week and not lose their voice. This is my background. Been doing it a long, long time. And I am very good at what I do. Now, I don't say that to impress you, but to impress upon you that when I'm deconstructing a video, um, and I'm looking at say Floor Jensen and talking about what she's doing, I'm basing that on my own expertise. I'm basing that on things that I have heard her say about her technique and things that I have heard her demonstrate about her technique. Um, I'm not the guy you go to learn to sing opera. I'm the guy you go to make it through 8 shows a week and have a professional career. So I just want to be clear about what I do and what I don't do. Um, when I talk about finding your voice, I can help you free your natural voice so that you are able to find the quality and richness of tone through various tools that is your, if you believe in God, Buddha, whoever, that is your higher power blessed natural tool. Um, I can help you release the potential of that. But if you say, hey, I want to learn how to sing, I'm going to go and learn how to sing, I'm not your guy for that. And I never claimed to be. What else? Let's talk about interpretation. I have been teaching writers how to be better writers for the better part of 20 years now. Um, I am published, I am produced, um, and again, I don't say that to impress you. I say that to impress upon you the fact that I'm not talking out of my rear end when I talk about things, but I want to clarify something. And yes, I guess, they say ignore the trolls, but I want to sort of nip that in the bud because the trolls are kind of rearing their ugly head as we've reached 200 here. So I have always taught my students, and if you can track any of them down who aren't too busy, they'll tell you the same thing. When I taught Shakespeare, when I taught dramaturgy, when I've taught writing, when I've taught text analysis and poetry analysis, and taught poets how to be poets and lyricists how to be lyricists and things like that. One of the things that I talk about is interpretation. And the fact of the matter is, when you're talking about art, when you're talking about intellectual property and material, very rarely is there one single interpretation. Very rarely, unless it's absolutely crystal clear. Like I'm putting together a video on a Nightwish deconstruction video, sort of on um, Over the Hills and Far Away. This is not a song that leaves a whole lot to understand what it's about. What I'm talking about when I talk about what a song's about is the story. Let's jump back real quick here and take a moment to talk about Ghost Love Score. Um, in my reaction, well, my response to Ghost Love Score, I talked about sirens. I talked about the mythology involved with the text as it is. I talked about the tropes of seafaring communities, things like that. All of those are historically founded in the type of material that is being presented in the performance. Excuse me. Now, does that mean that it's not about Tomas's relationship, perhaps unrequited, with Taria? That's not what I'm saying at all. At all. In fact, I'm fairly certain that the impetus that he's using the metaphors and the allegories in that idea of a siren that lures with her voice. I am in the camp that, damn, he wrote that song about Taria and his relationship, and just how incredibly lost he is in his feelings for her, which she may not even know anything about. Um, yes, I am completely in agreement that I believe that that is the inspiration for that song and what it's about from the soul of the writer. I believe that. I think that's what it's about. That rings true to me. Yes, but is that the story of the song? And the answer to that is no. That's not the story of the song. The song tells a story, and it is not Tuomas's story that's being told in the song. Tuomas's emotional turmoil is perhaps being explored through the story he's telling, but that's not the same thing. So understand, I also recognize that may be completely 100% not true. It may not be what he was going for at all. It may not be what it was about to him at all. And he is notoriously closed-mouthed and says it means whatever you think it means, whatever you feel it means, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But as I look at the text, I'm a master of textual interpretation. That's what I do. That's my bread and butter. That is what people seek me out for. So, and I'm not talking about a YouTube channel. I'm talking about, in real life. That's one of the things that I do to make a living. So it's, I do not at any time when I'm doing these deconstruction videos, you should hear me say often, I wouldn't presume to say that this is what Floor intends. When I talked in Ghost Love Score about how she moves, and as much as her fan base loves to watch her move, I think there's another purpose to that. Now, I think it keeps her limber. I think it keeps her instrument limber and not tensing up. It is a marathon to sing this material for that long, and you have to stretch it the same way that you would stretch if you were running a marathon. And I think that some of the movement that she does is in that wheelhouse. It's in that endeavor. Whether she chooses to do it on purpose that way or not, or whether she's just moved by the music and the result is that it keeps her limber, I don't know. And I wouldn't presume to say that I do know. But I do know what the result is and how it impacts her instrument. So that's what I'm talking about. Y'all, I'm on this journey with you. I have always been, as an educator, as a coach, as a director, I've always been what we call an existential educator, or in big into existential education, which is we're on this journey together to explore, to find things out. Um, are there times when I'm like, yeah, I'm right? Sure, sure. But those are concrete things that are not subjective in nature. If you want to have good vocal production, do you need to learn how to utilize your tool, your diaphragm, how to have centered breathing and use breath capacity and build breath capacity. If Floor didn't have lungs like a deep sea diver, she couldn't do what she does. But it's how she takes the natural ability, the massive amounts of training that she's had, and put all of those things together to find and navigate her way to giving the best of what she has whenever she's called upon to do it. And this is going to bring out trolls too, I'm sure. But there were some times in 2018, some concerts that I looked at and watched, and it may have been a bad mix, absolutely possible. But they did this thing, I say they did it to Floor. But yeah, I don't really know that that's true. They started the set during, I think, the Decades tour. They started the set with Yours is an Empty Hope, where Floor is growling through much of a song at the beginning. And then they have a 2 hour set, which ends with um oh my god. Um I cannot believe I'm blanking on it. I'm sure you guys know what it is. We are here, we are here. It's the Dawkins number. Um and I cannot believe Greatest Show on Earth. Wow, holy crap. Okay, so they end with Greatest Show on Earth, but then they come back for an encore. And what do they have for an encore? Ghost Love Score. Holy crap. Why are you doing that to this woman? Now, it's because I adore her mind and her spirit and her talent, that even though I don't know her, I worry for her. Um, but that's 2 hours of singing some of the most challenging material possible, ending with an incredibly challenging song, and then coming back and doing an encore with a notoriously difficult song vocally, where she is known for taking that song higher and with more power than anyone else who's ever done it. That's just mean. I mean, that's insane. Now, if anybody can do it, Floor Jansen can do it. Um, but there were some times during that tour, in videos that I saw from that tour, live recordings, where I was concerned because, you know, she is a master of her craft, but we all have off days when we're not feeling 100%, and where we have to compensate, and there were some performances, during videos for that tour, that were not as astoundingly amazing as I might have expected them to be. Still heads and tails above probably anybody else, but I was concerned that she was taking on too much, that she was pushing too hard. I am thrilled with the stuff that she's doing now. Hearing, participating in her master class, hearing her sing, hearing her vocals, hearing Human um, too. It is beautiful, and she sounds beautiful on it, and she's taking care of her mind, body, and spirit, as I often say, and reaping the benefits of that. There was a live stream with her and Taria today, and they talked a little bit about, sort of work life balance. And Floor's got a lot going on. She's got a lot going on, even in the times that we're living in, where most of us are sort of shut in. But everybody can have an off day, and so even someone of that magnitude of talent, sometimes I worry about their instrument. So, I want to put that to rest. I am not a singing teacher, never claimed to be a singing teacher. I'm the guy you come to where you want to become better at what you do as a vocalist, not when you want to learn how to be a vocalist from the very beginning. Um, so I hope that clears up any confusion in terms of some of the things that I may talk about in my response videos. Second, in terms of interpretation, one of the things that I've always said is any interpretation of poetry and material like poetry is valid if you can prove that it is true to the text, true to the story, and true to the performance. That being the case, all things being equal, you can, best example, and I know this is crazy and literary, but best example, did Ophelia kill herself, or was it an accident? I don't know. I've seen it done both ways. And if you look at the play Hamlet, you can look at that play and you can make a case for it either way. You can absolutely make a case for it either way. And I've seen it done either way, and I've seen it work either way. So which one is right? The answer is both, neither. It doesn't really matter. It's what serves the production, what serves the performance, what serves the truth for the performers. and how do they bring about the best of what they can do? Another one from Hamlet. Is Hamlet crazy or not? My view, sometimes, sometimes not. Sometimes he's he's playing the part, and I think sometimes he gets lost in the part of being crazy and actually is there. Um, but that's for the actor to decide and the director to decide and the production to feed into all of those choices. Same thing. Is Gertrude in on the murder of Elder Hamlet? I don't know. Seen it both ways. I don't know. I don't know. I use Shakespeare because Shakespeare is poetry in a very long form, and that's why I use it as an example. But it's the same thing as Thomas and saying, "Is Ghost Love Score really about Tarja?" I don't know. Think probably it is, but that doesn't change the story that we go through in the performance of it. And I would challenge anyone to say that we do not go through a story in Ghost Love Score. So I just wanted to clarify, those things, so that we can avoid further conversation about it. Um, there hasn't been a lot. I've been very, very fortunate. The Nightwish Army is amazing and outstanding, and about the coolest and nicest group of people you can possibly meet. Um, I've had very, very few comments that have been sort of blocked that I've had to review. I mean, maybe five of them out of a lot of comments, thousands of views at this point, which I am grateful for. Um, but moving into probably, I don't know. Let me look here and please celebrate with me. But 6,000-7,000 views in the past couple of days on work, and I know that that's minor with like big YouTube channels, but I'm kind of just getting started out, so that those are big numbers to me. And it's and I've had relatively few, haters. Haters gonna hate, yeah, but I've had relatively few. I mean, maybe a handful of comments that I had to review, um, and or delete, and I would say out of all of those, um, I don't know, maybe all but two have been porn. So I've been really, really fortunate, and people have really kind of embraced what I'm doing. But I believe in nipping things in the bud, and I believe in being completely honest about who I am and what I am and what I do. Um, Later on the channel, you will hear me share some of my own work if you choose to do so. That is part of what the Inkstand channel is about. Um, but it's also about sharing the things that I love and things that I'm passionate about. And as you know, I'm down the Nightwish rabbit hole right now. So always, if you have any questions for me, I am not pimping my services. I am not out there saying, "Hey, sign up and take lessons with me." In fact, if anybody wanted to, I'd have to set stuff up to make that happen. That's not my intention here. Um, but I do want to be clear about some things. Um, you know, I can hang with some of the best of them, but everybody has their different focus. Everybody has their different focus, and I want to be crystal clear about what my focuses are with regard to interdisciplinary art in this channel. So that being said, and I know we've kind of run long, but again, this is just a off the cuff conversation, just sort of sharing stuff with you, and in gratitude, significant, serious gratitude, for the way that my videos have been embraced as of late, and the subs that I've gotten as of late, and the wonderful community of people who have subscribed, and interacted with me. I try to interact with as many people as I can. The other thing that you may have noticed, if you saw my first video, that I put on about why I went down the Nightwish rabbit hole, um, some of you may also have noticed that, at this juncture, it's, about after midnight here on in Pacific Standard Time, and it's which means at this point I'm probably going on 32 hours, maybe maybe 36. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it, but this is what I'm talking about. So I've been like awake this whole time that things have kind of, started to gain momentum on my channel. So I've interacted with as many of you as I possibly can. I will continue to interact with as many of you as I possibly can, and because that's what it's all about: sharing the love, sharing the knowledge, sharing the wonder that is art. Um, Speaking of which, the thing behind me is a painting by Vignoli, and it's one of my favorites. And Vignoli is a painter from Spain. No, wait, it's not Spain. He's from South America, I believe. Losing it. Um, I did a bunch of write ups for some exhibitions of his several years ago, and this is just sort of how things tie together. Um, the exhibition was being put on by a former student of mine who had become an art dealer, and I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to do some write-ups in terms of interpreting his work. What is his work about historically? What does it evoke? What is it? What does he intend for it to evoke? Things like that. Um, so it is a backdrop that I use, but it just so happens to just be another example of the um, the broad range of work that I do in terms of art history, art criticism, literary history, literary criticism, all of that stuff. And if you want to know what criticism is actually supposed to be like, there is a video on this channel, the first video I put on this channel, which is how to critique or how to review anything like a boss. How do professional critics actually do it? And I would encourage you to check out that video if you want to. As always, if you like what I have to say, if you want to hang with me some, if you want to watch any of my videos, or if you appreciate the content that I put out there, please um, like the video, watch the videos, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell on the icon of the bell, so that you can be informed when I put new stuff out. This is sort of a tangential video, I know that, um, but hey, I like people, and you know, sometimes I just want to share some stuff. Okay, as always, where your words have power, please choose them carefully. Be well, and take care of your mind, body, and spirit. And I'll catch you in the next video.